103, and we have some puzzles here. It means that this is a difficult one. But we're going to find a cylinder shaped metal box which will contain 500 milliliters. And just to make this correct, this is the same as 0.5 liters, which is the same as 1 liter is the same as cubic decimeters, like this. But we're gonna give it in centimeters here, and then we have to know that this is the same as 500 cubic centimeters. Then it gets easier here. Okay, so 500 milliliter means the same as 500 cubic decimeters. So, but what do you say here? We want to find an expression for the overflate, which means the area of the metal thing here. We have the top and the bottom, and this is, if we fold this rectangle, we get like something. We have a top here, which is made of metal. We have a bottom, which is made of metal, and we have this around the cylinder. That's the rectangle here, if you fold it like that. So we want to find an expression O of R. But this area overflate here will be the two circles here. So P times R squared is a circle, but I have two of them. And then plus the area of this rectangle, which is H times 2P RH. So this means that we get 2PR squared plus 2PRH squared. This is the surface of this metal thing here. But it should be a function of R, and now we have this H, which is ruining everything. So we have to get rid of this H somehow. The rectangle here is 2PR this way and H this way. So it's not, this is the height of this rectangle and this is the width. So it's not an H here, sorry. I was just reading wrong here. So it's just, this is the, there we go. Still, we need to get rid of this H, but then we know that know something about the volume here. We know that the volume is 500 cubic centimeters, and the volume of a cylinder is PR squared times height. So now that this is equals to 500. But then I isolate H. If I want to get rid of H, I have to isolate it in some other formula. So I divide by PR squared on both sides, and I will get this. So then I get 2PR squared plus 2PR times H, but H is 500 divided by PR squared. And then I can simplify this. I can multiply this into the denominator, and I can then reduce P here and this R against one of these R's, and I can multiply these two, so I get plus 1000 in the denominator, and in the denominator I only have R. So now I have a function of the surface in terms of R, like this. But let's, just to make it simple, call it X instead. GeoGebra is like X better. So this is now a function of the surface where X is the radius of this cylinder, like this. So that's A. And B, what is the least surface this box can have? We want to be take care of the environment. So I want to find a minimum point of this. I want to use as little metal as I can when I make this box. So I want to find a minimum point of this function, and this we can do in GeoGebra. We can, of course, just of this function, so then it's called O of X equals to what was again P2. P I can get by Alt P times X squared plus 1000 divided by X, and then we get the graph here. Like this. Let's see if we can find a graph here somewhere. There we have it. and we want to find the minimum point, I just press this, and I just press on the graph. There we have the minimum point, x here. Remember, it's important in these exercises, what is x, what is y. X here is the radius of the cylinder, so the radius should be 4.3, and the y coordinate here is the surface area. So then the surface is only 348.73. So that's the answer here. The radius should be 4.3, and then we use this much metal to make this this cylinder like this. And it also says, yeah, so the answer here is 300 and whatever it was, 348.73. So the answer is 340. Remember, 348.73. 348.73 square centimeters, and that's when the radius is 4.3. And it says what is the height, and remember here we've got the height here, that is 500 divided by p times 4.3 square, and then I can just calculate, take on my calculator, I can also just put in here 500 divided by p times 4.3 square, and we get 8.61. So the height is 8.61. So that is the answer on this exercise.